Dude, it's not Monster. Alright guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jake the Fate, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about two awesome Schecter guitars. Alright, so I got two Schecter guitars here. They're both pretty cool guitars. You know, they're not, your typical guitars that you find at like Sam Ash or Guitar Center or anything like that, your music store. I was trying to get them off of Reverb first. I was trying to see if I can, get a good deal there. Couldn't find anything. And I luckily found them on the Facebook market. And they weren't even close by me. I had to drive one all the way to Massachusetts. And the second one, I went all the way to Pennsylvania. So it was a bit of a hectic thing to try to get them. So I'm going to show you guys the first guitar. So this guitar right here, it's the Schecter Lady Luck Diamond Series guitar. And the second one is fucking Fingerprint, man. And this is the second guitar I got. It's a Schecter Diamond Series Monster graphic Telecaster body guitar. So what I'm going to do is, basically show you guys the specs of this guitar. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know that, what was that? I know there's not a lot of videos out there on these two specific models. I've tried to search them up, like how they look before I even made the purchase. So I really couldn't, find anything at all. It was just people reviewing them from like 10 years ago, So the video quality wasn't so good. So, my purpose is just to, if you guys are interested out there and you want your own, you guys can see my video and be like, okay, kind of know what to expect when you guys go out there and try to get one. So yeah, let's get to the workbench and show you guys the specs on these guitars. So this is what the guitar looks like. I took off the strings because I'm about to replace them. I don't know if that's like actual rust, which I'm pretty sure it is, but it ages pretty well because, the whole thing, it's like a distressed chrome, like it looks used and stuff. So that's honestly, it looks pretty nice. Looks sick. This is the bridge, but it all looks like worn and stuff. And this is probably actual rust. The pickups look really, really worn in, but it's part of the design that they did on purpose. Now the screws are probably actual rust. So, but still, it looks great on it. So these pickups right here, it's their Schecter Alnico Plus pickups is what they say. And I think these are Alnico 5s in these pickups. So you're going to get a brighter sound. And, it's a lot stronger than the Alnico 2s, but it'll sound a little brighter. And since it's more magnetic, you're going to get, less inductance. So the reading of these pickups on the bridge, it's a 8.48, and the neck 7.58. So I mean, it is pretty low output, for a metal guitar. And me personally, I prefer something, like I've said in my other videos, I prefer high output pickups. And in the middle, you get 3.98. When you split the pickups in the bridge position, you get 4.28. On the neck, you get 3.77, and in the middle, 2K ohms. So they're not the hottest pickups, but people that want to know what the inside of this thing looks like, nothing fancy. You can tell that they're waxed pickups, so they did good on that. This one says N for neck. Some conductive paint, black paint in there, so they did pretty good with that. That's a plus. Now this guitar, it's a mahogany body with a mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard. So 24 frets. It's a 25.5-inch scale length, so You know, for me, that's freaking perfect. And if you're a person that looks at the front of the fretboard, you probably get lost, but you have your side dot inlays right here. The guitar is pretty worn. The frets are pretty worn, but they still have some life in them. So the color of this guitar, it's like a alloy gray, I think it's how they pronounced it. It's like a metallic grayish sparkle with black binding on the side and on the fretboard, which is awesome, and also on the headstock. And this is the truss rod cover, Lady Luck, right there. Headstock, Schecter Diamond Series. I don't know what this is all about, but you know, you got your dice right there. Distressed looking tuners right there. Schecter branded tuners. It's a made in South Korea guitar, so these guitars are good. It's a 2008 model, and for a 2008 model, this thing is in great condition. It's a set neck construction body, so real good axes right here when you're playing. Normal stuff in there. Looks like it hasn't been tampered with for all these years. So got a coil split right there, pot, 500K pot. The only thing I see on this guitar, it's this little ding right here and that little ding right there. But aside from that, everything else is like really good on this. It's got a thin C-shaped neck, 3-way toggle switch, 1 volume for the neck, 1 volume for the bridge, coil splitting tone, master tone right there. It's a shredder guitar.
My interest is the word monster. What do you see in the O? There's a cross. What has Christ got to do with an energy drink, let alone the name Monster?
Here is the Schecter Monster PT guitar. It looks pretty cool, man.
And the double Fs.
25.5-inch scale length neck, so just like the Lady Luck guitar. You know, for me, like I said, it's like perfect. And it's a 14-inch radius fretboard with a nut width of 42 millimeters right there. Schecter Diamond Series logo right there on the headstock. This is pretty cool right here. You got like monster knobs. So like, I guess like this is what makes the guitar look cool. And also the little graphic there. You have 22 jumbo frets here. And these frets, they're a little scratchy. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. And I don't know, it probably did come out of the factory like that. This guitar is pre-owned, so the previous owner, I don't think he used it that much because like the frets are in pretty good condition. There are some like scratch marks here somewhere, but you know, little filing, and I don't think you need a re-crown on these, but they look pretty good, in pretty good condition. I just polished them up a little bit. Oh yeah, and right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. They're like sticking out a little bit right there. So, you know, it came out the factory like that, so it's gonna need a little bit of work, you know, not so crazy. But other than that, these pickups right here, they're like Schecter Diamond Super Rock 2 pickups, like bridge and neck. I guess we'll do a reading on that actually. So on the neck position, it's a 8.63 K ohms. And on their bridge position, 11.53. So it's a little bit hotter than the Lady Luck one. So, you know, these are ceramic, and I don't know if they sound good or not. You know, supposedly they say that they're not that good. And in the middle position, you have 4.98. You know, both of them together. Yeah, so you get like this double cream binding around the whole guitar. So, you know, it kind of gives it that really nice, cool aesthetic look onto it. Now, I'll show you guys what the inside looks. So this is what the inside of the pickups cavity looks like. You know, the pickups are nothing fancy. Just regular, it says bridge. Is that a B? Why is the B on the next position? I don't know, but that's that. And this is the bridge position. Should say B2, yeah. Now I don't know if they're both the same. They don't read the same. But yeah, you got your ground right there. That's the inside of the cavity. Like another hole right there, which it does lead into like the cavity there. And there's another one right there. I don't know what that's all about. Let's see if this one has it. Yeah, this one has it too. What the hell? Oh, I think I know what happened here. Yeah. So what they probably did at the factory is like they made a hole that runs from up here straight down all the way down here. So like you can connect this pickup, make it go through there to come out of this pickup. But I feel like they realized, I don't know if they knew or not, but what I think happened was, like, in order for you to take, if you want to swap this one out, whatever, you're gonna have to take this whole thing out. So they were like, let's just separate them. So they just like made another hole separate for this and another hole separate for that. But honestly, I think that's even better. Like if you want to modify this, because sometimes like these holes are too small. If you want to like fit in like Seymour Duncan's or something, like you can see that these wires are very thin. So I've dealt with guitars where they're like, the holes are so small and I'm trying to fit two of those thick wires and they are a pain in the ass to try to make it go through there. So, you know, the fact that you have like two holes, bigger holes there, makes this thing to modify a lot easier and a lot better. But a simple little layout here. You have master volume, master tone, three-way selector switch, and the body is made out of alder and the neck is made out of maple. It's a thin C-shaped neck, so you know, it's a pretty nice C-shaped neck. It's a bolt-on. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys the back. So like I said, it's a bolt-on. You get this cool little neck plate right here, you know, kind of makes it unique. So that's actually really cool, the Monster logo right there. And if you guys are interested in what the back looks like, you know, you got your simple tone, volume, and three-way selector switch there. Output jack. Now, the flosses on the guitar, this guitar is made in China, so it's not like, you know, something super crazy. So like right there, you know, it kind of split, so it doesn't like really screw in there that well. That and the frets, probably the only two defects that I found on the guitar. You get like these Schecter branded tuners. Kind of look like they're versions of like Rover tuners. They're black, so it matches the whole thing. It's crafted in China, so it's like the first Chinese guitar that I own. It's double binded, double cream, so it's pretty nice. It's a string through body. The body itself is like a matte finish, so if you have like sweaty hands, it's just gonna really show, even on the glossy ones. But this one's a lot harder to take off, and eventually over time you're gonna rub it off. Probably, obviously, might keep it like this for until I start seeing actual defects, and you know, probably put some matte finish clear over it. Because the matte clear that I use, you know, it kind of does protect it better than, you know, this. Because I don't know, the one that I use, it doesn't. You don't really see fingerprints on them. But let's see what this thing sounds like, you know. that we know all about the so after looking at the guitars from the inside and, you know, playing with them for a little bit, you know, it really surprised me, man. Like this guitar itself, right? It's pretty quirky. You know, I was thinking about it. I was like, both these guitars, they're like the douchebag starter pack, you know? Like you got the Monster energy drink and you got like the race car thing going on.
MILFs dig it, and you will too.
But you know, they're pretty cool to have in your collection, you know? Like that's why I wanted them, because, you know, I'm a Schecter collector, so I like to collect guitars and Schecters, and especially these two, you know, they're really rare. You can't really buy them every day. So yeah, so the story with this guitar, I went all the way to Pennsylvania. I drove all the way to Pennsylvania on Friday. I went on Monday to get the Lady Luck one, but on Friday I went and got this one. And he told me the craziest story. He said that, because I knew that there was like a sweepstake for these guitars in like 2019. And so the previous owner, he told me that he had to like buy a whole bunch of monsters and like, you know, collect the tabs and send it to them so he can get like this guitar as a prize. And he was telling me that he spent way, like almost $600-700 around there, or 500 or something, way more than this guitar cost is. And I was like, are you serious, dude? Like, I was like, I couldn't even believe it. I was telling him, like, it's a funny story because, you know, he went through all that to get it, and I went through all that. You know, I drove like almost 6 hours to like get this thing. Yeah, but like the thing with this guitar, it's not meant to be like played technically, right? Technically speaking, these guitars, they were meant for like NASCAR drivers, BMX bikers. It was basically like for the X Games. And, you know, they would give the sponsored athletes or the sponsored people, whatever, a guitar so they can like hang it up and, you know, keep it there. And most of them wouldn't keep them. They'll just, you know, either resell them or... But technically, when Schecter made these, like, they didn't make them so specced out, you know, because they knew that it was just going to be on a wall somewhere. And if somebody didn't know how to play, you know, they can still play and not, you know, have any issues, like, severe. So, the whole sweepstake thing, I don't know, like, if that was, like, with the same thing, but... Yeah, so this guitar, man, plays awesome. The pickups are a little bit microphonic. You know, the pickups are a little bit microphonic, but they do sound decent. You know, if you can work with them, they sound decent. And, you know, aside from the fret job, you know, a little bit of extra work. You know, I already filed it down. I did all that stuff. You know, it's not nothing hard. So if you guys decide to get one of these, you know, it's awesome. When Schecter, the company, first started, it would just like sell guitar parts like necks and stuff like that. So basically had just like replacements. But then they started making their own guitars, and they were like, you know, cranking out guitars like specced out, you know, like Grover tuners, Seymour Duncans, EMGs, all like everything was so good. But then they started to realize, you know what, like, let's make guitars like on a cheaper end, not cheaper end, but like more like affordable, with like their own branding on it, like Schecter pickups, Schecter tuners. So if you are a person like me that likes to modify and stuff, you can switch the pickups, and, you know, the guitar itself is great. You know, it feels like there's quality in them. Every Schecter I've played and every Schecter I own, they're super high quality. I haven't really played with like the cheaper ones, like the Omens and those. Basically modify your own guitar. You have a good body and a good neck, and you want to work on it a little bit, you know, you can do a little bit of extra work, you know, change your pickups, change your tuners, change the electronics, whatever you want to do. But, you know, you still have like a good body to work with, basically. I think that because of like the extra holes that were in there. So if you want to modify this, you know, you can easily have access to that. Grover tuner sized pegs and stuff. So, you know, yeah, man. So this guitar, killer, man. So it's freaking awesome, man. A little bit of extra work. Maybe you can swap out your pickups if you want, but personally, I think they sound good. You know, the way stock, you know, because everything here is stock. So, yeah, that's this guitar. This guitar is the Lady Luck guitar. That's what they call it, just Lady Luck. Oh. And honestly, like when I first thought of the Lady Luck, I thought it was like, it didn't make any sense to me, you know, because I'm a spiritual person. So, you know, I do a lot of like meditating and I do a lot of that kind of stuff. So I get into like really deep, like, you know, higher power stuff and stuff like that. The first thing I thought when I saw Lady Luck, I was like, isn't that like the Greek goddess of good fortune? So I thought that's what this kind of was. But then, you know, when I was looking at like the inlay of this like racetrack lady and like the dice, and it just didn't make any sense to me, you know? And I was like, what does that have to do with Lady Luck? And I was telling my wife this. I was like, I was thinking that maybe it's like a modern twist to it, you know? And this is all just me, my opinion, just thinking. I was telling her like maybe it's like Lady Luck of like, you know, because this guitar is from 2008, you know, and at that time, you know, like Fast and Furious and all those race car games they were like the thing at the time. So, you know, it's like to market it, you know, you're gonna have like a woman here and like dice and stuff like that, you know, and people are gonna buy it. But, you know, like I was thinking maybe like a subliminal message to it. I don't know. But because I was looking at this and this didn't make any sense to me. The little inlay here, that thing. And I was looking at the symbol for the good fortune. You know, it kind of looks like it, you know, like it kind of really does look like it. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but you know, it kind of resembles it. That's why I thought it was that. And, you know, like a modern twist, you know, to like the Lady Luck, the goddess, you know. And so that's why I thought it was that. And, you know, I guess I'll think this. So, you know, it's pretty cool, man. Like I said, like this is like it's kind of like a douchebag starter pack. If you want to think about it like that, you got like the race car lady and freaking monster. Honestly, personally, me, I think this is like cheesy. The inlay on the guitar, I think it's pretty cheesy. But the guitar plays so nice, man. Like super nice. If they had like something else, like I saw the She Devil, that guitar, I was like, okay, you know, it's kind of like this, but it's red and black, and it's got like the two little devil ladies in there. Which that might be another guitar that I'm gonna try to get. I am trying to get the Devil custom guitar. When I get that, I might do a review on that because I couldn't find a video on that either. And I'm gonna try to get that one. I think the Scorpion. I saw a Scorpion. There's like a lot of cool guitars that I'm trying to get, and I'm trying to do like reviews on, because there's like no videos on those guitars. You know, that's the story on these guitars. Oh, actually, I didn't even say the story on this one. I went to Massachusetts. I didn't really interact with the guy. He was just like, whenever you come, I have dogs outside. So we just made a quick exchange. I like to, you know, kind of conversate with the people I do business with. I do buy guitars a lot from like random people. So, you know, I do like to get to know them and say what I'm going to do, because, you know, it's a hobby. You know, all of us, you know, in the guitar community, we love this. You know, us as guitar players, we get so geeked out. We see a guitar and we're like, oh my God, oh my God. So the pickups, man, on this guitar, like I already kind of figured, they were gonna be really bright. Not really bright, but they were gonna be brighter than the Schecter Monster guitar. And I don't know if you guys can hear it in the track, but you know, it's very subtle. I could hear it, but yeah, man. Will I swap these pickups out? I don't know. They sound good for what they are. I do like tinkering, so I might, you know, swap them. I don't know. Like I said, this is a fun thing to have, you know, and I do recommend you guys to like find yourself, you know, these guitars online, or you know somebody that's willing to give it to you, and you know, you collect guitars and stuff, and you can have these guitars in your collection. I really recommend you guys keeping them, because the value might not be so high now or later or whatever, but it's just the fact that you have it. So, you know, that's all I got, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did get a request on humbuckers and stuff like that, so I'm gonna make a video on that probably in a week or two. You know, I've been super busy with work and stuff, but I am gonna get to that. yeah, if you guys, found this video helpful, find it interesting, share it with them. So like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. I'm not gonna force you guys to do it. If you guys don't want to, it's up to you guys. With that, thank you guys. Till the next one.